What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? We are back for the Valorant Community Series semifinals. This is the second game we have going on to decide who is playing the Kings of Drama in the finals. Today we have BakaGoi versus A5. This is going to be an insane matchup. These two teams are on fire. They're both great teams, and they're at the top of their game right now. This is going to be amazing going into it. It's going to be a best of three to see who can come out on top to secure that finals clinch. And I'm joined here by Michael, aka Night Assassin. How you doing, brother?
I'm doing all right. How are you today?
I'm doing absolutely fantastic. I cannot wait to watch this game. I feel like it's going to be a freaking bloodbath. With Frosty Lights coming in as the top immortal player, arguably the best player in the entire league. I cannot wait to see how he handles this game against Deliver and Trist. Those two are monsters. We've seen them perform at very high levels, and it's going to be. I just can't wait. I can't wait.
I definitely agree. I think Frosty's probably the best fragging player in VCS so far. Probably just the highest rated player in general. And it's definitely going to be an interesting match between the two teams. So I think Bakagoi's basically plan is just, how do they deal with that, and then A5, as you're mentioning with Deliver and Triss, how do they deal with those two?
Yeah, so I want to talk about Frosty Lights for a second. Frosty has been consistently the top frag in every game he's played. He does his absolute best to carry his team to that victory. And I know at the beginning of the season, he was leaning more towards support roles because that's what he plays, on average, that's what he plays. But now he's switching more towards that carry role. He's playing that Reyna, that Phoenix. I think I saw him play once, or no, Sova. And he's just playing those high damage carry roles, and it's suiting him well because he has the shot for it. So why not just pick a character that goes with that shot? And he's absolutely dangerous. I am personally worried. If I was worried about anyone in this entire series, it would be Frosty Lights. I think he's going to absolutely pop off no matter what. And we'll see how Deliver and Triss can handle this. Deliver and Triss are known for fragging out, but not like Frosty. Frosty he's built diff.
I think it's definitely going to be an interesting thing where it's basically just A5 just has to have Frosty carry, and I think if he doesn't carry, it's pretty much no chance for them, honestly.
Yeah, and coming off my game from playing BakaGoi, we played an Ascent, which is actually going to be the first map today, and they were very, very strong in Ascent. I believe they did some research about us and how we like to play. So hopefully, they did the research about A5, and maybe they can counter how A5 kind of plays around Frosty, and maybe they can kind of, I think they'll have success if they try to avoid Frosty, especially on attack. They are starting on defense, but I think if they could somehow get rid of that carry, because when you put all your eggs in one basket and that basket breaks, all the eggs come falling down, and you could have that victory. So I think that should be Bakagoi's focus for this series, is avoiding Frosty Light or taking them out. One of those two. And I think that'll be their successful role. And I think for A5 to be successful here, I don't remember. I don't think we played him on Ascent. I haven't really seen him on Ascent. But I think if they could somehow utilize trading a little bit of the lower ranked characters and have Frosty just kind of, maybe not entry because it's very risky for Frosty. Maybe he can trade him out, and I think that might be the most successful thing, especially if they can take out Deliver and Triss.
I think that's basically been what a lot of A5's plan is, and I think just generally from seeing a lot of their games, it's, have the players go in and have Frosty play some kind of second man entry for, taking sites control, and then on defense just pushing like crazy and seeing how many one-on-ones he can get. And we saw these two teams play in the I believe the actual last game of the season, which ended up being not super important, but they ended up playing, and what ended up happening was Frosty just straight up like hard carried the game, just top fragged, had like multiple like insane clutches, and pretty much just dragged the team across the finish line in an OT match. And it was also on Ascent, and I don't actually remember which side A5 started, but I believe A5's offense looked relatively good because Frosty was able to drag him across the finish line.
Yeah, and that's what they really need to put all their eggs in that one basket, which is kind of dangerous, like I said earlier. But especially if he's on Reyna, he's probably the most unstoppable player in this entire league. I was talking to one of my teammates about it, and that's one thing that is kind of scary. Actually, is Frosty, the best shooter in this league, on that Reyna, because you take that 1v1 more often than not, you're losing that 1v1, and the only character you want to win a 1v1 is Reyna, because she could overheal, and the ult is just so insane now with her assist orbs. So they're gonna have to outsmart Frosty. That is one thing that BakaGoi is gonna definitely have to do, is play for outsmarting Frosty. Basically, play off angles, do weird things that this immortal player doesn't see in immortal. I got to play with my teammates who are a lower rank, and when I'm playing in gold and whatnot, some players, they're just playing so outrageous that you just have no idea what they're doing, because people like your Elo aren't playing like that. So if BakaGoi can do just something weird that just doesn't make sense, I think they can take out Frosty and they can secure this win. But I think it's going to be probably the second best matchup that we're going to have, because obviously, the finals is going to be the best. But I think this is going to be so fun to watch, and I can't wait.
Definitely. Sorry for running a little bit late. We're experiencing some small technical issues. We'll be trying to start very, very soon. Hopefully within the next minute. Just want to announce that we are experiencing those technical issues.
Yeah, we're actually going to have a sub, I believe, for on the side of Baka. Tuxedo Star was not able to make this game, so we're going to be having a sub for that. And I believe it's going to be Diamond Savior, if I'm not mistaken.
I believe Diamond Savior. I believe BakaGoi was saying he's a very inexperienced player. Probably only a few games of Valorant. He's replacing, I believe, Tuxedo Star, who I believe is an Iron player. Hopefully the drop off isn't too bad for them. Obviously, it's really unfortunate to have a playoff sub, but they're trying to make it work, and we'll see what BakaGoi is able to do with that.
Yeah, so we're going to go ahead and take a small break right now as we get all this technical difficulties sorted out. So bear with us for a minute. We'll be back here in a couple minutes. Stay tuned for one of the best games of the season, semifinals, BakaGoi A5, best of 3. We'll be back in a sec. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are locked and loaded here for our first game of this amazing BakaGoi versus A5 series. We are on the map Ascent here, and A5 is going to be attacking. I'd love to see how they're going to be attacking here right off the bat. We have some hovers going on right off the bat here. Frosty already locking in that rain and knows what needs to be done, locking it in. Artemis jumping on that Killjoy, and we know Alice, her one and only Omen. And we look over here on Baka's side. We got a Sage locked in here. And there is a lot of Sage going on, in the bigger tournaments in the pro scene. She is very strong on Ascent, but we'll see how that works out for him.
I think part of what BakaGoi might be thinking here is that Sage is, she's gonna be really high skill cap character, but she's also relatively high skill floor, and that her ability to use her heal and her res and stuff like that can definitely help for a player who's extremely inexperienced. We see A5 going for a pretty typical comp. We'll see what Clinical decides to lock in, but
Oh,
generally,
whoa.
he runs just kind of their flex, but everyone else on the team is pretty much all running their normal stuff. Clinical choosing that Sova, which makes a lot of sense. BakaGoi, Triss's Reyna makes a lot of sense. Baka, I believe, almost always plays Killjoy. I believe Clue is almost always their Omen player. Deliver playing that Cypher. He's played a lot of different things this season. I know he's played some Duelists, but going for that Cypher with this triple Sentinel comp, which is really interesting. What do you think about that?
Oh, yeah, that's what I was going to talk about. This, actually, I didn't even think about it. A5 is going to be starting on attack. So the only way to really put themselves up is to just lock down the sites. And what better way to do that than picking all the Sentinels in the game of Valorant? Try to hold down these sites. Man, that's honestly scary to look at because they are picking to win the defensive side. So if they lose, if they don't go, 11-1 or 12-0 here in the second half, it's going to be in the first half. It's going to be very, very rough for BakaGoi because that team I couldn't imagine attacking. That is incredibly rough. So we'll see how this is going to go. They only have one flash on that side, I think, unless I'm incorrect. No, they have Omen flash. So we'll see how it goes.
And we see A5 immediately just taking for a full 5-man mid. BakaGoi kind of only having Triss playing here on the Reyna and then having everyone else turtle on site, so that's what they do. I'm going to spectate Frosty here. And we'll see what he does. He's aggressively taking control all the way into CT spawn.
Yeah, Frosty and their spawn gets taken up by Deliver, and Deliver also takes out Artemis as they're pushing out back spawn. This is insane. It was a smart call right off the bat, but I think going to their spawn was a little bit rough. The bomb is actually down in their spawn as Baka takes out 2 to make it a 1v5 in favor of BakaGoi here. As Triss runs out front, gets that last kill on Clinical to secure the first round. A flawless round for BakaGoi.
And just a really interesting execution for A5. Immediately going for the very aggressive push into spawn. And unfortunately, I believe they took bomb and dropped in spawn also, which kind of killed any of their chance of winning the round.
Yeah, I think that was a very, very smart call to go through mid, but they decided to go into spawn, which is very, very tough because they can, Baka can choke them in that one point from both sides, and you can see how that worked out there. Well, getting started in the second round here. We see the double sentinel set up here on A. Soviet Arrow goes to get some information onto A, but it doesn't look like anything can happen. Frosty sees the cam on A, gets tagged, but takes out the camera. That's very, very important here. But the wall is up on A. And it looks like A5 is going to be going for more of a default here to get some information. They do want to take that mid control. No one from BakaGoi is actually there. They smoke it out, and they're going through mid to B. I love to see it here. There's only one here on B. But Baka is going to be able to take out Clinical, and Clue takes out Alice as Clue gets another pick on the experience here as they're trying to take this B, but they're just getting absolutely shut down by the Sentinel hold. The last one alive here, Frosty with the Frenzy. Gets noticed out by Triss and gets taken out, and that's another flawless round here. 2 flaws in a row. It's crazy.
And honestly, just a really smart play with these Sentinels. Just lots and lots of stall. Using that wall in A main combined with that Cypher just means there's no way you can go A ever through A main. It seems like A5 really needs to play for mid control here, but they're really struggling to get out B main so far either.
And I think with that double sentinel hold down on A, they could really go for, playing a one in mid and then two on B, and it's just, man, that's gonna be so tough to take. That triple sentinel setup is gonna be rough as 5 members of A5 are leaning more towards B here. They're all in B main, and they're gonna be going out super tough. Drone goes out, clears out the way, but Molly's go down. Clue gets out experience, and Baka takes Frosty, but Go Alice gets that trade on Clue here and Walkway on B. And it looks like the bomb is stuck at Switch, but Baka's holding it. Solo gets taken out, and the site is now clear. It's going to be a 3v3 retake here for BakaGoi. Let's see if they could get it done here.
Really like BakaGoi's chances here, and just considering the ranks of the players remaining, obviously they have a really good chance, but stuff like Cypher and Reyna are really good in post-plant situations, and we'll see what A5 is able to do, but it definitely seems like BakaGoi has a really good chance in this retake.
Tris gets his pick on Artemis, has going in, Deliver gets that, also another pick, and Glass Alice gets a trade. It's a 1v2 for Alice here. Gets that 1 kill on Tris, but Deliver gets the trade and secures another win for BakaGoi here in the first half.
Really good.
I think that was a clean take.
Yeah, really good attempt by Alice with the 4K on the round. You know, all of her team's kills. But BakaGoi able to trade out really, really well in that round. And their initial stall on lane, on the A site with that Killjoy Molly combined with the alarm bot just did an absolutely incredible amount of damage.
Oh, this is a nice spot.
Yeah, that setup is I really like that setup. That almost just shuts down the entire walkway there, and it just stops anyone from going in there. If you decide to go through there, you're really taking so much damage. So I think that, the push from mid to B is incredibly smart, but don't go through walkway. If you're gonna go through walkway, you got to bait the util, then take it. But they tried to walk straight through it, and we're punished here. The wall goes up on A for this next round, as Frosty is kind of lurking a little bit away from his team here, seeing if he can get some information, get rid of that util on the A side. As you kind of have a little bit of a lull, but Delivers here sitting in. Oh my gosh, Experience to get that pick on Deliver here in bottom cat. As Tris 1v1's Experience and gets another pick there and goes down to Experienced. Leaving a 1 left on A as the whole A5 team comes out onto A side and has a clean site to take. They goes into having to kind of stall them from peeking for that plant as the bomb does go down on A. Clue destroying that door here to see if he can open up a little bit as Experience gets another kill on the Diamond Savior here. Arrow goes out, revealing Baka's location here in heaven. It's going to be a 2v4 retake, and very, very low members of Baka. I think their best bet is to just save here and give A5 their first win.
That appears to be the call. It looks like BakaGoi was backing off. And that round was pretty much just all on experience, combined with, some very, very uncharacteristic whiffs by BakaGoi. Both Deliver and Tris, they're very, very high-rated players. Both kind of just whiffing on experience there as he walks up cat.
Yeah, that was a great, great take. It didn't look like everyone had a buy on A5, but they made it work. They got the trades. And then they got the picks, and that's what's scared to win. It's going to be tough right now because A5 Frosty is actually 0-3 currently in these first 4 rounds, and 2 other members of A5 have 0 kills. So it's going to be a tough game. I'm very confident that Frosty is going to be popping off here. He does have his first gun of the game, and we'll see if he can pop some heads and get some sucks. And let's see if we can get A5 on a roll here. Now's the time.
Tris and Frosty are going to come to a duel right now, and Frosty immediately wins it.
Yeah, that's what you need. You need that pick straight up from Frosty. Gets another pick on Clue, leaving 1 member left on BakaGoi on A side. As Baka's going to peek out that side, gets the wall bang from Frosty, takes him out, and that's a completely free B side with a 2v5 retake here coming from the side of BakaGoi. As Frosty's actually looking to get his 5th kill, Deliver takes out experience here on the catwalk as Frosty's looking for that ace. He's got 4 kills now. It's almost like he heard me and he wants to prove me wrong. He wants to get this ace, and this is exactly what A5 need as the bomb is down. And Artemis takes away that ace from Frosty, but secures the round and is now 3-2 here in the first half. And we got a game now.
Pretty typical A5 round where Frosty just gets an entry kill and then another entry kill and then kills 2 more, and then they won the round because he got 4 kills.
On my way.
And It seems it's pretty much the typical A5 round, and as we've seen all season, that's pretty much how they've won most of their offense rounds. Is just Frosty just carries, and as we see right there, you know that's what he's able to successfully do. Is able to break that triple sentinel hold, and kind of unfortunately for BakaGoi. And we'll see this new round as it looks like BakaGoi wants to push, deliver, gets the trade back on experience, but experience is able to get 2 kills before dying.
That's super, super big. That leaves BakaGoi with only 3 members. As the ult comes out from Go Ask Alice in the shadows, brings it to sight, and that's an absolutely free sight. But Clue takes out Go Ask Alice, but A5, Clinical, and Artemis are actually going to be able to trade that out. And kill Clue and Baka, leaving yet again Deliver to be the last one alive in a 1v3 retake here. The bomb goes down on B. As Rain is actually mid lurking here, seeing if maybe Frosty can get this cheeky pick on this remaining member of BakaGoi. Looks like it's going to be another win here for A5. But we'll see what happens here. Frosty's really looking for him. But Deliver is sneaking in, trying to see maybe he can get an exit frag. Hopefully he can save it up. He does hear 2 members leaving B main as Frosty's sitting on A. So this could be a possible exit frag as Artemis is here going to get first contact with Deliver. And oh my gosh, the foot coming from Artemis to get that headshot on Deliver and securing another win for A5.
Seems like A5's got kind of an offensive groove going on right there. It's, I think BakaGoi was on a save that rounds for at least most of them. But, A5 was able to figure it out. Experience with that very quick 2K on the push into a main. But, Deliver getting that trade kill out. I believe that's where he got the rifle from. Dies at the end of the round, unfortunately, and we'll see what A5 decides to do here. Looks like they want to go for the full A rush.
This is going to be a tough one, knowing that there's 2 Sentinels here. I think Frosty's telling them, hey, who cares? These guys aren't good. We'll carry. As Artemis gets a pick coming out on Diamond Savior. Trips are being triggered. Deliver is stuck here in the bottom as Triss finds a trade onto Frosty. That's a big, big kill. That's their carry. But they do have a sight as the ultimate comes down from Artemis, but it gets destroyed instantly as Deliver gets picked up by Experience as he's trying to hide under Heaven. Experience gets another pick, throws that nade into Heaven, see if maybe he can push out Triss. Triss falls back, and they now have a completely free A site as the bomb goes down. It's going to be a 2v4 retake here for Baka. And we'll see if they can do it. Experience pushes around the back side of Heaven to get a pick onto Baka. As Triss is the last one alive. Going to be trying to save that op, but Experience wants him. Let's see if maybe he can get another 4K here. We'll see what can happen. But that bomb goes down, and Triss finds that pick. Finds another. Now it's a 1v1 with Experience versus Triss here, as they're trying to just sit out of B main to see if maybe something can happen here. They're going to be coming up on each other, and Experience gets that last frag to put him up with a 4K here, and another win for A5.
And we see, Experience having another excellent round, like he did a few rounds prior on their first round win, and able to quickly get those entries, and then followed up with, taking that op out of Triss's hands, which can be really impactful. Denying that for this save round is really important for just making sure that BakaGoi doesn't have any chances in it.
Yeah, I mean, these are really, really big, impactful frags coming from Experienced. And, it doesn't really matter what your rank is. If you have that confidence, you can get something done. And it looks like Experience is going to try to get some more confidence here as, Deliver actually pushes into Wine. Maybe they'll check it, maybe they won't. But 4 members of A5 are sitting here in the mid area. Frosty's already up bottom mid to see if maybe he can get a cheeky off-angle frag here. We'll see what he can do, but they're just playing defaults. And I think this is incredibly smart, because if you try to go hard on one site, those Sentinels are really going to slow you down. So I think waiting to get a pick here to kind of increase your chances, as Go Ask Alice actually does get that pick on Diamond Savior in cap, but Deliver might be looking to get the trade, and he does. Gets that headshot, and Frosty pushes into the spawn of Baka, gets a pick. Deliver gets a frag onto Clinical from mid. That's Clue. Finds Experience pushing into the spawn, but A5 Frosty's able to trade out. And that's another free sight on B, as it's going to be Deliver and Triss for a 2v2 retake here. Let's see if maybe they can try to outsmart these two. Artemis and
Last player
Frosty are the
standing.
last alive. Frosty gets that pick on deliver, making it a 1v2 retake in favor of A5. Let's see if maybe he can get it done. It is Arena. That is who you want in these clutch situations. Does he save the op? We will see.
Tris is kind of just deciding that he's going to play for the exit frag, try to get out after this. Unfortunately, when he went and found the dead body with the gun on it, it was the op. And I think he kind of realized that he couldn't really win the round just in the 1v2 with the op. So it looks like he's going to save here. We'll see what happens on this duel right at the end here. Looks like he'll be able to save.
So everyone gets out alive with their shoes and shoelaces here, but that does give A5 that upper hand here, actually. I think, Triss did save the op, so this might be, their last force here on Baka's side. But A5 is sitting pretty on money with the Odin actually coming out in clinical to see maybe if, they can get a sweet penetration kill. But it does look like they're triple stacking B-side. Baka is triple stacking B-side to see if maybe they can get some early information here. The blind comes out from Omen. But the liver peeks out and gets actually picked off by Goas Alice. That's a very, very big kill. That's one sentinel down for Baka. As 3 members are pushing up cap, the drone comes out through Garden. Frosty gets contact onto Diamond Savior. So Diamond doesn't want anything to do with that as the ult comes out from Experience into Heaven. Double ulted here, gets picked off by that Sova ult, but nothing does happen. A bomb does go down on A. As the last 3 members of Baka are sitting in the tree area. We'll see if maybe they could get a retake here. Good kill comes out from Clue. The ult goes down from
Last player standing.
Baka. But it is a 1v3 retake. And we'll see if maybe it can go down. They do destroy it. But Goasala gets that last kill on Baka. Secure the win for A5.
And I think in that round, BakaGoi made a pretty big mistake with how they used the Killjoy ult. They placed it down, but they just kind of went and it seems like they kind of just died immediately without given the opportunity for that ult to pop. And knowing a little bit about how that Killjoy ult works, that is you can guarantee round wins with that ult. Especially if the Killjoy player knows a molly lineup for wine. But unfortunately, BakaGoi all just kind of went in and died, and then at the last second, the Killjoy ult gets destroyed, and unfortunately for them, they weren't able to win the round.
Yeah, I'd say you wait at least 5 seconds when that ult goes down. We'll see what happens. As Baka tries to get some information here on A, they did get enough to know that no one's here on the A side. As Frosty pushes up into Cat, gets a pick on Deliver, and Triss gets 2 frags as Clue gets the remaining here, but they don't know that someone was actually coming from Market. But Baka's able to get that return frag, make it a 2v2 situation yet again here. As Frosty's in the mid, gets contact onto Baka. Flash coming out. Frosty is ulted, so maybe we can see something go down. Baka does take out Artemis here on the walkway, but gets traded out by Frosty to secure another win. Not yet, actually. I'm mistaken. It is a 1v1 situation. Diamond Savior versus Frosty. Boss fight. But Diamond Savior could not save the day here and gets taken out by Frosty. And has now a 7-3 lead for A5 on attack. This is a rough one.
A5 really just snowballing these rounds well together, and unfortunately for BakaGoi, they're not really able to figure out how to hold it. It seems like they're just not playing mid at all, and a lot of these rounds are kind of collapsing from it.
Yeah, definitely, and that's very smart of A5 to realize is, hey, these Sentinels are going to be playing the site, obviously. So their weakest point is going to be mid, so let's try to take it through mid and catch them off guard, and that's what they're doing, and it's being proven successful. As the wall goes down on A, Frosty is going to be taking out Triss. Experience is going to be taking out Clue into B main. There's 2 in B main, trying to get some information, but the bomb is actually A side for A5, so we'll see if maybe they can get something down. Experience throws the bomb buddy down, trying to get Baka here on the B side, as all 3 members of A5 are actually pushing out onto A, and they have a complete A side as Baka takes out Experience here on the B side. The Clinical gets a return flag onto A. Secured the site for A5. It's going to be a 2v3 retake in favor of A5 as Deliver pushes Heaven. The arrow comes out, revealing where Deliver is as Clinical has that Odin. Spraying through the wall. Maybe to see if he can get something. A deliver pushes up and catches him with his pants down. Gets to pick off Clinical. That's going to be a 2v2 retake now. And the ult comes down from Artemis. That's definitely going to delay him. There's no way they can get to that and destroy it. As the bomb ticker is going down, and I don't think they're going to be successful here in this retake. So the best thing they can do right now is to save.
Unfortunately for Delivery, he got stuck on site trying to make a play for the round, but you know, after dropping to hell, he probably realized that he had no way to get out. Tried to run and get a kill. Unfortunately, wasn't able to get one, but he dies at the end of the round. It looks like all of BakaGoi is going to have some form of buy, except for Diamond Savior, unfortunately.
Yeah, it's going to be rough. Diamond Savior's not going to have a full buy, and looking like Clue is not going to have one either, but that judge could be deadly depending on what A5 decides to do, but it does look like they're leaning more towards A side. We'll see if maybe they can get something done here.
Can never underestimate the judge. It's basically better than most full buys, honestly, but
all you need is a judge and a dream, and you can definitely win rounds. Flash comes out from Frosty onto A main. 3 members of them are there as Clinical gets a pick on Trish with an op into A. That's a huge pick. That's their only frag character. So we'll see if maybe Baka can piece this together and take it. The ult comes out from Alice to get some information. They know Diamond Savior is in heaven on A as they push out onto A and get that free side. Deliver gets flashed actually from God's house. Gets turned into Hell and Keller, but recovers and gets actually taken out by Alice in middle as Diamond Savior is trying to fight for this too with no one even worried about the site for some reason. They just focus on this flanker, so maybe they could be a little bit easier to take here, but they might be running out of time. They can't be going slow here as the res comes out from Diamond Savior to bring up Trist. Flash comes out from Clue into heaven, but Frosty's able to pick him off. Ult goes down by Baka, but Frosty gets him as well. Big kills coming out from Frosty here. Gets a triple kill here as the bomb goes down, or as the ult comes down. The ult gets destroyed, and the only one alive here is Diamond Savior. No time to defuse. And that's going to be another win for A5.
Yeah, an utterly dominant offensive half from A5, losing those first 3 rounds and then winning the next 9 in a row. Frosty obviously having an absolutely insane half with, you know, multi-kill clutches after starting, I believe, 0-3, so going 16-1 over the next 9 rounds. Absolutely incredible out of him.
Yeah, big rounds coming up from A5, and like I was saying earlier, if this is not what you wanted on the side of Baka, this is not what you wanted. 9-3 half. And now you have to attack with 3 Sentinels. It's going to be insanely rough. So we'll see how it goes here. With 4 members leaning more towards B side from Baka. They might try to take mid control again, or they might try to take mid control here off the beginning, but Frosty is in mid, so we'll see if Frosty can hold down the mid area. As Flash goes out, as they just all push out onto mid. There's 3 people mid, and they're just trying to run it down. As Clue gets a pick on Clinical here in Cat and see if maybe they can push onto A with only 1 member from A5 holding down that side, and that's Experience. He's popping off today, so maybe they can get something done. 3 members sprinting through mid to A. It's taking a little while to get there, so that rotate is coming around from A5, but only 1 member still on A. As 3 members jump out of the tree room and take out Experience, just overwhelm them, and that plant goes down for free here on the side of A. Frosty gets that pick on Clue, gets the heal off. This is not what you want. We'll see if maybe they can get a 3v5 retake here. Another kill goes out from Frosty, gets another heal here. This is not what you want as he jumps down, gets that insane midair kill onto Baka. Trish gets a return kill. He's looking for another ace. Frosty is on the bomb. Cam is on him. 46 health left. And Frosty, absolutely insane, coming out with that last kill on Deliver, outsmarting him. He held the bomb to make it look like he was holding it in the cam, but he jumps out just in time and gets that insane headshot onto Deliver to secure and clutch that round. What a beautiful ace and a beautiful retake from A5.
That was just absolutely ridiculous. Obviously, maybe you know, you might say even a little lucky on one of those shots with the mid-air ghost headshot, but, you know, it is how it is, and Frosty with the absolutely ridiculous ace with some absolutely insane headshots. You know, using that range to the fullest, getting those overheals, winning all those 1v1s.
Yeah, that midair kill I think was just distance. It doesn't matter if you're in the air, but if you're in their face, you're gonna hit something.
Yeah, you're definitely gonna hit something. And it looks
As
like
they tried it
BakaGoi
for
wants
mid
to go
control
for,
again.
yeah, wants to go for the full mid rush. Alice holding it down well with the Spectre here.
One enemy remaining.
Oh man, big kills
Spike
coming out from
down
Frosty
mid.
as they take mid control away from Baka as the only member yet again is Deliverer here. He's pushing through this cat area, gets that headshot experienced, and that is a free Spectre. As Frosty's just waiting on that other side here. But Frosty's able to pick him up, and that is now 11-3 in favor of A5. A5 is looking incredibly strong here.
And BakaGoi is really just struggling to figure out, what they need to do to win a round. And unfortunately, offense is definitely not what they were, planning on with the 3 Sentinel comp. And with that, it seems, it's very possible this could be a 13-3 just because it doesn't seem very likely that they're going to win an offensive round unless 8-5, makes some pretty drastic mistake.
Yeah, if they are going to win a round, it's going to be this one because all of Baka have a full buy, and A5 decide to save. It's a good call, seeing that they're up so much they can give up a round if they happen to lose this one. As Frosty's going to be ulting onto B here to hold down the site. Setup looks pretty dangerous. Excuse me, pretty dangerous here. As Frosty peeks out a little bit, gets that pick on Clue. And ulted Reyna with the Spectre is not what you want to go up against. And that's a big frag here. That is their smoke character down. But Deliver gets their smoke character in return as Goas Alice dies, trying to push out mid and get some mid control by herself. Don't think that was the call, but Frosty gets that kill onto Diamond Saber, and Artemis gets that 1v1 fight on the Baka. And it is now a 2v4 situation. But Triss and Deliver are the ones you want in this situation, so we'll see if maybe they can get something done here. As Deliver takes out Artemis. One more kill to ult, as Reyna's going to be coming up on him, but that ulted Reyna takes out Deliver here in the spawn area of mid. And we'll see if maybe Triss can 1v3 this, but he doesn't. Reyna diff, as Frosty gets that pick onto Triss in mid, and it's now 12-3 here in the second half. And let's see if A5 can secure it. That was a big round for A5 because that was their save round. They just won a save round, and that was Baka's buy round. So they now have no money, but A5 have all the money. So we'll see what happens. I don't think Baka's going to win this out, but I could be wrong.
Pretty unlikely, obviously, with this weird half buy. BakaGoi's seems like they want to just go for this full A rush. Seems like they're going to be able to avoid Frosty by doing this, but they're going to run right into the Raze nade.
Oh, big triple kill coming out from Experience. He throws the nade, gets a pick on Triss and Deliver with the gun, but gets a nade kill. That's Clue, trades him out. Now it's a 2v4 situation. Clue TP's into hell as Baka gets the kill onto Alice into heaven. Gonna go get a return frag onto Baka, but Artemis finds that kill from heaven onto Clue. Catches him off guard and secures that first game win for A5.
A5 looking extremely dominant, winning those 13 rounds in a row. I don't think Frosty died at all in the second half, making him go 28-1 with a 230 econ rating. Obviously, an absolutely incredible performance out of him. Experience had a pretty good game himself. Definitely pretty much their typical second frag. Obviously, BakaGoi just was unable to do anything. They just kind of got rolled, and unfortunately for them, there's not much to say about it.
Yeah, it's very unfortunate when you pick 3 Sentinels and you can't hold a site. And I think what they can hopefully learn from this game, if they go into a game 3 or they decide to do that triple Sentinel again, is mid. If you have those Sentinel sets up on the site, your weakest point is mid. And that's what, A5 was able to exploit and take advantage of. Experience did get a bunch of those early frags, which kind of carried their team a little bit and pushed Frosty up like, hey, man, let's get it going. And Frosty said, okay. And Frosty just took off. So good plays coming out from a lot of people here on the side of A5. And, 3-13 loss is kind of tilting. So we'll see how BakaGoi can come back in this second map. The second map is Bind, and Baka is starting on defense yet again. So I think Bind is more of a defensive-sided map than Ascent. So we'll see how their setup goes on that and see if maybe they could work with that triple sentinel yet again and make it work. But for now, Frosty's going to carry, and we'll see how it goes.
That's the story of the series, right? Just does Frosty carry or does he not? And it seems like in map 1 he definitely was able to. I
Yeah.
believe we'll be moving to a short break so the players can, take a moment. We should hopefully be back in the next couple minutes, before the start of the next map. So we will see you then.